Hi, I'm Andrew at Baker's Gas. We're here today with all 3M hoods that are very popular. So in this video, we're doing a comparison between the 9100 XXI, the G5-02, and the G5-03 Pro. So we've had a lot of questions, and people want to know what is the difference, which one's better, which one do I prefer, or which one should we get if we're doing this or that. So in this video, hopefully we can explain all that and help you guys pick the best hood. So as you can see, I have the old 9100 XXI, very popular hood to this day, even though it is an older technology hood. Still move a lot of these hoods. They really are popular. They are clear, so it's a natural light state while you're welding. Very nice. And then the G5-02 I've had for a couple of years now. Awesome hood. It's a curved ADF, which is different from these two, totally different. It is a curved actual welding lens, and it has a huge viewing range, but it also has a huge selling price as well. So very nice hood though, welds great. And then the G5-03 Pro is the newest one that just came out. So basically it is the updated version of this shell and this lens, and it is the newest version of the 9100 XXI. So it has the natural light state as well. This one here is the tack welding edition, so it has a 2.5 resting shade. So when you're tacking, right, you can move from tack to tack and you can see where you're going or what you're doing or measuring or whatever you're doing while you're welding. But it also has, this one has an external button. This one has a tap feature on the outside, so there is no button, but this one just had the button. A lot of people didn't like that button. They said they hit it or they couldn't get it to work or it just didn't work. It works. I never had trouble with it, but we did hear a lot of complaining about that button on the outside. So this one just came out with, you just tap the side of the hood, it'll change it back and forth. Obviously the lenses on these two are the same, right? In the shade of these replacements. The inner lenses are the same, but what the difference is, this one has 3 different versions that you can get. You can get variable color on the G5-03, you can get the tack welding version, and then you can just get the plain, I don't want to call it plain Jane, but it's the very simple one, shade 9 through 13, with this newer style shell. And the biggest difference between these two is the shells themselves. So you can see, got a lot more rigidity on the G5-03 when I'm pushing down. And then the old 9100 XXI, you can see how much more it flexes. So different material, higher heat material, holds up a little bit better. You can see as well too on these, that peripheral range on the 9100 XXI is huge, and they went back to the smaller viewing range on the side. So just little differences between them. As far as functionality though, this has way more technology than this one, but it is, I mean, they're very close. So these two right here, you can hook to Bluetooth, so you can run them on your phone. You can change the shade, sensitivity, delay. You can get part numbers, breakdowns on everything, what lenses you need, that sort of thing. But they will go Bluetooth linking, and then obviously this one has variable color lens too. We'll link that one down below. This is not that one. Then the G5-02 is very innovative with the curved lens. I love the curved lens. If you're TIG welding, that's what this thing was made for, was TIG welding, guys. So aerospace, pipe fitters and food grade shop, stuff like that, they love that curved lens, and it's great TIG welding helmet. Now if you're flux core welding all day, I would say don't get the G5-02. It's just a little bit different. I will say it's not as robust when it comes to doing stick or flux core, right? You can see I weld with it quite a bit. I flux core and stick weld. You can see I burn holes in my guard there. I got a lot of melting parts on that. Now I'm not saying this wouldn't do that either, but I'm just saying you've got a lot more surface area to catch slag or catch anything. But TIG welding is awesome. MIG welding is awesome. I can see it's great. Now the downside to this one, you can't go up. It's shade 8 through 12. So they really focus this thing in on TIG welding. There is no grind feature. It does not have a shade 13 or 14, but it does have Bluetooth, and it does have, you know, some different functionality. The lenses themselves are different. To change that out than these two, they're different, totally different part number. So they are a little bit priced higher. than these two right here. The inside lens is priced a little bit higher too. It is totally different from these two hoods. But this one, the G5-02, you just got to remember, is a curved ADF. So it is brand new to the world of ADFs. 3M took 20 years to develop it. They figured it out. They got it. It's a curved piece of glass that auto darkens. It's an awesome hood. I highly recommend it. The G5-03, great for you guys out there doing production work or heavy flux core, heavy stick, because it is a very rigid hood. It is very nice. The headgear is super nice. Now you'll notice too, the headgears on all of them are, I will tell you, they're pretty much identical. These two are identical. This one's a little bit different. It's only got a top part, but remember, this was just for TIG welding only. So mainly in a closed environment, right? We're not out in the open. We're not out in the outdoors, that kind of thing. These two right here, different, little different headgear. They have two straps on top that well balance, right? So if you're moving around or doing anything like that, it holds onto your head better. But awesome hoods all together. Now, in my personal opinion, if you're going to TIG weld, there's no other choice. Pick the G5-02. Hands down, one of the best hoods on the market. A lot of people yell because there's no grind button. Well, if you're grinding while you're TIG welding, you're doing something wrong. So G5-02 if you're TIG welding. Now flux core or stick welding or just any general fabrication, I'm going to have to go G5-03 because it has newer technology. We got a little bit different resting shade, right? A little bit lighter, a little bit nicer. More sensors. We got 4 sensors on the G5-03. 9100XXI only has 3 sensors, but if you're so familiar with the old Speedglas stuff, this is probably the closest rendition of it. Awesome hood, natural light state, still very popular. They weld great. The button functionality is simple, just push and play. This one obviously has the new stuff with the tap and Bluetooth and all that. If you're not into all the technology, go with the 9100XXI because this hood is still just as clear as these two right here. But these are newer technology, right? If you got any questions, comments, leave them down below. We'll do our best to answer them. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned if you want.